call to order this meeting of the Susquehanna Township Board of Commissioners Workshop Meeting, June 25th. We note that all commissioners are here with the exception of Commissioner Engel, who is excused. We did have an executive session prior to this meeting where we discussed matters of personnel, real estate, and litigation. I'll have a pledge of allegiance followed by a moment of silence. If I could prevail on Fire Marshal Therese, please lead us in the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which stands one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Welcome. Begin with petitions, complaints, and questions from citizens. I don't see any citizens here. So I guess we have none.
We're the only citizens here.
George, you're a citizen.
Roger that.
Do you want to complain about something?
And Lieutenant, no. I'm a citizen as well.
You're complaining?
No complaint.
Okay. Moving on to approval minutes from the June 11th, 2026 Board of Commissioner regular meeting. Carl.
Yes, Mr. President, I'll move for approval of the June 21st meeting.
Second.
June 11th meeting minutes, sorry.
Moved down second. Comments or questions? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Traffic studies. Number one is expand parking prohibition on Corey Road. Who's going to handle that?
Can you hear me?
There you go.
Yes, sir. Good evening, everybody. So this is a parking prohibition. It's just an expansion of an existing parking prohibition on Corey Road back in the Union Square industrial area, specifically in front of the Cisco's building, which is a pretty big industrial building in the township. And a problem has existed for some time with tractor trailers parking along that particular strip where we're recommending an extended prohibition, and it's causing sight distance issues for ingress and egress out of Cisco's. We did study the matter. This has been going on for some time, and it does have my recommendation.
So your motion.
So moved. Second.
Moved by Commissioner Sanderson, seconded by Commissioner Polona. Comments or questions? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Chief.
Thank you, President Lynch. I'm going to have to sign off somewhat soon, but along traffic studies, I know in the workshop they're usually brought up. I did receive in the past week a request to look at Nottingham Way in the 5th Ward, as well as some school bus issues on Pebble in the area of Driftstone, that does not require any kind of study. I can handle that with the school district.
Okay. Good. Thanks, Chief.
Awesome. Thank you, everybody.
All right. Ordinances, resolutions, contracts. First up is a proclamation establishing July as Park and Recreation Month, and July 17 in particular as Park and Recreation Professionals Day. Mr. Polona.
Yes, sir. So we have a proclamation here, and I'm going to read the first few paragraphs. Proclamation of Susquehanna Township, Dauphin County, Pennsylvania, designating July to be the Parks and Recreation Month in Susquehanna Township, and July 17th as Parks and Recreation Day, our Professionals Day. It's coming up in the next few weeks. Whereas Parks and Recreation is an integral part of the communities throughout this country, including Susquehanna Township, Dauphin County, and whereas Parks and Recreation promotes health and wellness, improving the physical and mental health of people who live near parks. And whereas Parks and Recreation promotes time spent in nature, which positively impacts mental health by increasing cognitive performance and well-being, and alleviating illnesses such as depression, attention deficit disorders, and Alzheimer's. And now, therefore, be it resolved, the Board of Commissioners of Susquehanna Township does hereby proclaim July as Parks and Recreation Month and July 17, 2026 as Park and Recreation Professionals Day in Susquehanna Township. Proclaimed this 25th day of June 2026. Signed by our President Frank Lynch and that's by our Secretary Theresa Everett.
All right. Is there a motion to accept?
Move.
Is that your motion?
I'll second.
All right, moved and seconded by Commissioner Hisro, seconded by Commissioner Rock. Any comments or questions? Doug, do you have any comments or questions on it?
No comments or questions, other than we have Park and Rec Professionals Day event on July 17th at Veterans Park from 6 to 8 p.m. Hopefully we'll see everyone there.
There's ice cream, right?
Free ice cream.
There is free ice cream.
I heard that in stereo. All right,
All right.
thank you. No other questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Vote to send this.
The ice cream did it, though.
Want to do a picture? Come on.
Yes,
do it.
Mr. Vice Chair, Mr. Chair.
Come on, Teresa.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's what's up.
Thank you.
That's what practical.
So you have to move the podium back there.
Still.
Thanks, Howard.
Musical chairs.
Yeah.
All right, next up is the six-part master plan, which we discussed at our last meeting. And I'll leave it to Mr. Knaus.
Yes, thank you, Board. Yes, as we discussed last meeting, at our presentation of this, our master plan, we are now ready to bring it to the commissioners for adoption with a recommendation from the Recreation Advisory Committee and department staff. It's been a 1.5 year long process, tons and tons of community input throughout the entirety. So now the real work starts and trying to get it to put it to fruition. So with your blessing.
I'll make a motion to approve the master plan.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any comments or questions?
Yeah, I have first of all, a comment. I'd like to compliment whoever was involved in this, and you particularly, Doug. The process was very thorough, as you said, had a lot of community input, and I think it really is a good pathway forward for us. But I do have a question, and that is, what, if we adopt this, part of it is the action plan, which you recently gave to us. My question is, by adopting this plan, what obligations, financial obligations, are we taking on in the township? In other words, are we prescribing by adopting the plan that we're going to expend the money as in accordance with the plan?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Really what the adoption does is it gives us that vehicle for grant applications because it's a formally adopted plan. The action plan's in there is suggested by the planners. I'm actually going through the action plan and kind of updating the department's strategic plan because there's reality and then there's the dream.
Yeah.
So I'm
Sort of
kind
like the
of getting it
2030.
more into reality and we'll be putting that together through the summer and hopefully I can have a finalized, detailed action plan to the board early fall. And I'm going to be working with the Recreation Advisory Committee on that over the next couple meetings this summer.
Okay, good. That's kind of what I thought, but I'm looking at all these dollars and
Right.
trying to be careful. That's
Yep, absolutely.
all.
And thank you for the earlier comments as well.
So I just have a curious, and I was still on RAC when this started, so great job. In your estimation, when do you think this could be completed?
It's all about the dollars, right? So it's really, that's going to be the driving factors is how we can strategically come up with a plan to fund it. So once we start identifying that, then we can start putting a timeline together. But I don't want to I mean, if I was going by grant, it's gonna take a while.
Yeah.
But if we can get creative and come up with some other strategies and everything, it could happen sooner.
5, 6 years, something in that range, or just as a guess.
Yeah.
That was my guess.
Yeah.
So,
And you're gonna have to pick and choose priority, which comes first, which are the most important to start, and that sort of thing, it's all judgment, and making decisions on where grants come in and that sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean, we have some priorities kind of lined up within the plan, but also opportunity presents itself sometimes that we didn't prepare for. And we will take that opportunity as it presents itself as well, so.
Any other comments, questions?
Yep, I promise.
Yes.
So at this point, I'd like to thank all the members of the RAC, also the steering committee members who worked tirelessly on this one, going through, how many open houses do we have? 3?
Well, we had
Oh, no, we have
2 open houses here, and then we had on-site open houses at each park as well.
Yeah, so there's a lot of work in the last year and a half, so really thank you to all the members, and also, more importantly, all the residents who came over to those open houses at each park. Because that really opened the eyes of the planners on what the township needs in each location. That's why, as we go through each of these parks, what it entails, the vision, the design, they're all different, and it really shows the inputs of the residents who participate in those open houses. So thank you, and thank you, Doug, by the way, and have a good day.
Thank you.
Okay, anything else? There's a motion on the floor that's been seconded. So all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you,
Sir?
I'm gonna do the next one for my seat.
Fine.
I got 3 pictures for that.
Okay, this is Beaufort, right?
Yes.
All right. Beaufort Playground. Have a seat and tell us about it.
Yeah, so we were able to secure a grant from Department of Conservation, no, not DCNR, sorry, DCED, Community Economic Development, as part of their Greenway Trails and Recreation Program, sorry. That grant was awarded last year. The total grant was $72,000, I believe $156. The scope of the project originally was much larger because we asked for $250,000 with a $37,000 match. Since it was partially funded, we kind of rescaled the scope and really just focused on playground replacement. We originally were looking at doing a new pavilion as well, but we're going to just rehab that in-house and then just focus on the playground, hopefully towards this fall. So the total cost of the playground installed through state contract will be $125,000. We have a $72,000 grant, and we would then cover the remainder of that cost through the Recreation Developers Fund. It's slightly higher than the committed $37,500 match that we committed to for the grant, but we get a totally new playground on site. The playground that exists now is over 20 years old, and the playground was extremely undersized when it was put in. It was only designed for 2 to 5-year-olds, and that lasts for 3 years. So there's a lot more children there of varying ages than the 2 to 5-year-olds. So what I have up on the screen right now, ignore the shed building, that's actually where the pavilion is what the new layout would be. It would have brand new swing sets, which would include a ADA swing, a tot swing, and 2 belt swings. For the 5 to 12-year-olds, we'd have what's called the Cliff Rider, and then the block, which I had up originally. These are the blocks. They're basically big climbing blocks, almost like a mini kind of rock wall.
And then the spinning apparatus in the bottom right corner here is called the Supernova. It actually, children can stand and walk on it and it will spin, or they can sit on it and spin as well. And then in the middle is the 2 to 5 year old structure, along with a 3-person spring bouncing toy in the upper right as well. So give you a little close-up of what these pieces look like. This is the color combination that the Recreation Advisory Committee has recommended. As you can see, it's bright, it stands out. The Cliff Rider here in the middle. Essentially, if you think about that piece of equipment, it's almost like an upside down seesaw. So they can climb up either side, either via steps one side or the climbing apparatus on the other. They actually stand and push themselves off, and then they teeter over to the other side. And they can go back and forth with it. I talked about the blocks, the climbing pieces and everything like that. The Supernova, which is on the upper left. And then we made the 2 to 5 year old structures different colors, so they do stand out as for different ages as well. Everything will be marked accordingly, but it helps differentiate it, but it also fell into the color palette that we were looking at. And then one of the nice things with this ADA swing, which is different than our others, it's not on a single pivot point. So a child who may not have any ability with their legs will be able to get the swing going with their arms. By pushing on the chains, they can get the swing in motion and kind of build that momentum, where with the current ones we have, we still need someone to push, or they would have to use their legs to get it moving. So this one's a little different, a little bit more updated, and so forth. So we did also go out to 3 other companies. We went to Playworld, who has done a number of our playgrounds already, and we also went to another company called Burke. Burke came in well over budget. Playworld was right in line budgetarily. They were basically like $200 cheaper. But the Recreation Advisory Committee also is trying not to duplicate kind of cookie cutter everything to look the same. And this is why they're recommending the compound piece or structures here that we have. It also was discounted well over $40,000+ to fall into our budget as well. So at this time, the Recreation Advisory Committee and staff are recommending the purchase of the new Beaufort Hunt Playground with Compan. It's under state contract, would include installation. I've already talked with Travis. We will coordinate some removal of the old equipment and the old wood carpet and border with Public Works. And then they'll come in to do the entirety of the installation and put the new bordering in and new surfacing. Any questions?
How high do the swings go so you can jump off?
As high as you want to make them.
Mr. President,
Yes, sir.
motion to approve.
Second.
Moved and seconded by Commissioner Cross. Questions or comments?
Yes, do you have a installation date? Maybe you said that.
I don't. It's going to be fall of this year. Once we place the order, then I'll get a better timeline in terms of production. But I would imagine early fall.
Thank you.
So in this playground, it's not restricted. It's kind of circled by the houses, right?
Right.
But, so it's open to anybody in the township. But how do you get into that?
The easiest way, we actually have, the township does have 2 easements. The easiest one is the easement coming off of Mount Vernon. There's a pathway that goes up there that I believe also the authority uses to access the stormwater infrastructure there as well. That's the easiest way. I know a lot of the families just kind of roll out of their backyards and in.
The Dreeses.
But that's the most easy way off of Mount Vernon. And that's where we put the park sign out. It's not on the street side, it's up onto the property, so as someone's walking by, they can see that it's a park, but it's not, there's no space out along the street to put that signage.
So you only put one sign out, and that's on the.
Yeah, because it being it looks like an actual entry point, because the other easement that we have is a grass easement.
It's a path, yeah.
And it's not even a pathway, it's just an easement, and I would imagine over the years, the property owners on either side probably are maintaining it and probably assume that's part of their property, I would imagine, and there was no need to cause any strife.
Yeah, I remember you had an ADA issue with.
Yeah, we're gonna still continue to work on the ADA aspect of it, as we go through this as well. Hopefully that's something that we can look at in the 27 budget and possibly work in-house to accomplish that.
Any other comments, questions? Hearing none, move to second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thanks, Doug.
Thank you.
All right, next up is proposal for website and grant services transformation.
Thank you, Mr. President and Commissioners. We are looking to hire an outside vendor to support modernizing and adding a professional touch to our website. We have a vendor in mind that can lead us through the process. In the agenda, there's 4 phases that would take us through that process, and we're very confident that Storytelling Communication can be that vendor to lead us through the process and cover some important steps. So we're requesting approval of Storytelling Marketing Communication for a 6-month digital transformation project.
Mr. President,
Yes, sir.
motion to approve.
Second.
Move to second, comments or questions? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Thank you. Next
Thank
up
you.
is the 2026 CFA Multimodal Transportation Fund Program application.
Thank you, Mr. President, Commissioners. We're asking to apply for the CFA multimodal grant, which is specifically for pedestrian improvement, and requesting the support of a proposal from HRG of $4,400 to help us with that grant application. And in addition, we're seeking a waiver of the required or suggested 30% match.
Mr. President, we move for approval of the application for not to exceed $4,400 with a waiver of the 30% match.
Second.
Moved in second. Is that language, is that good? The
Yes.
waiver of 30%?
The waiver of a 30% match, yes, sir. Thank you.
Thanks, Bob. Comments, questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Next up is ordinance 2604, amending the stormwater management ordinance, section 19-901, to revise inspection frequency and implement the new stormwater management facility inspection report deadline of June 1st. Kathleen Guy. There you are.
Good evening. Over the past year, stormwater staff have been working on a new B&B or stormwater facility self-inspection program. Currently, our program is for all staff to inspect B&Ps to comply with the township's MS4 permit. However, by ordinance, it is the homeowner's responsibility to inspect any B&Ps on their lot. So tonight, we're asking for authorization for a public hearing for a text amendment to standardize the yearly inspection requirements before our rollout of this new program. So all properties will be required to inspect their B&Ps yearly rather than every 1 to 3 years based on installation date. So this amendment will reduce administrative tracking and improve B&P maintenance for the properties.
Mr. President,
Yes.
motion to approve.
Second. Thoughts, comments, questions?
Yeah,
Comment. and I'm sure this will be reviewed later, in terms of language. Just check section 4, severability. The paragraph is missing some critical language there. It could have been cut and paste and some of it left out, so you may, I don't know if the solicitor wants to look at it as well.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I had a few questions. So this is set up so that the owner of the property does a report annually, is that right?
Correct.
Do you have any idea what the cost would be to the owner to do that?
To do the inspection, it would all be online through a GIS survey, so they can do it themselves in about 10 minutes every year, so it would be no cost.
Okay. How many of these VMPs are we talking? I'm just trying to get a feel for the scale of what we're imposing on our homeowners.
I'd say we have around 200 in the township. A lot of them are in their newer communities like Riverbend, where they have infiltration beds on the property. But some of it are the HOAs who have the giant basins, so they're shared responsibility. But mostly it is on lots.
Okay. And they can do this online?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Any other comments or questions? All's in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thanks, Kevin.
Thank you.
Next up is replace HVAC units in the police department. Travis, you want to take this?
Good evening, Commissioners. So basically what you have in front of you is to replace 2 HVAC units downstairs in this section. So it says on here about the police station, it's actually the side that the police are occupied now. So the very first one is replace HVAC unit 7. The HVAC unit on the police department needs to be replaced after 40 years. Riverview Mechanical LLC has presented a proposal to provide all labor and materials to remove the existing air conditioning system and the indoor coil and install a new 3-ton heel air conditioning system, air handler, and electric heat kit at the cost of not to exceed $11,652.79. This unit is actually in the restroom across from George Dreese's office. First one. Yes, sir.
Looking for a motion to approve.
Yes, sir.
Mr. President.
We'll handle them individually, so go ahead. It's
Yep.
been moved by Commissioner Napper, seconded by Commissioner Isra. Comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries.
Okay, so the second one is actually in the old Susquehanna room. So replace the HVAC unit number 8. The HVA unit in the police department needs to be replaced after 40 years. Riverview Mechanical LLC has presented a proposal to provide all labor and materials to remove the existing air conditioning system and indoor coil and install a new 5-ton heel air conditioning system, air handler, and electric heat kit at the cost not to exceed $13,450.
Mr. President,
Commissioner Napper.
motion to approve.
Second.
Moved and seconded by Commissioner Isra. Comments or questions? So these were original to the building?
Yes, sir.
I had that question the other day. So
Yes,
it's
sir.
not since the police annex was done?
No, sir.
It's the original?
It's the original units.
Gotcha.
Okay, good use on it.
40-some years old, back in 1980.
Yeah.
Is there a maintenance contract on servicing these, or?
Yes, there is a maintenance contract on servicing these. One in the very first one that I had mentioned, they have been replacing a few parts. We were trying to prolong it, but it keeps moving further and further down the line. So we're at the point where we need to basically replace it because we're all the way through the rest of it.
But that's not included in these numbers, there's a.
They actually have cut costs a little bit for us because we did question that last Friday. They are, like the new one downstairs in the restroom, they put a new fan in that one prior. So they're discounting prices off of the new unit for stuff that we had paid previously for.
I was a young guy 40 years ago.
Yeah, were we all?
Let's keep the police cool.
Any other comments or questions relevant to this discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Application for payment number 4 for the 2025 Susquehanna paving project. Action.
Yes, sir. Good evening, Commissioners. Before you is application for payment number 4 in the amount of $65,500.40 to Construction Master Services for the 2025 paving project. There was some deficient ADA ramps that needed to be addressed in the spring, going back, obviously the bulk of the project happened last year, but they had to do some rework. So this application for payment reflects the release of retainage and the ADA ramp certifications, which were provided and reviewed. You will receive one more final application for payment reflecting the quantities installed versus bid. I suspect that will come on your agenda for the next meeting. So, we are recommending approval.
So moved.
Been moved. Is there a
Second.
Second by Commissioner Ward. Comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thanks, Al. Sure. Consent agenda. Items here. Actually, it's one. It's a long one. Ratify the following summer playground day camp effective June 15, 2026. It's supposed to read all X number of them. The chair would entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
Second. Moved and seconded. Comments or questions? Now, all these kids have started, right?
Yes.
All go. All right, no other comments, questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Mr. President,
Yes,
just comment and observation.
please.
Mr. McNaus probably more insight into this. I would expect, my kids went to the summer camp and had their first jobs at the summer camp. I think we're probably employing a lot of teenagers in their first jobs. Do you think it's about accurate?
Yeah, but we're also experiencing a lot of returning staff. So the amount that we're hiring each year, like the open positions, have decreased dramatically. So typically, we're only about 10 to 12 new hires from previous hires, because they're coming back year in and year out. And kids that were in high school, like senior years in high school, when we hired them for their first job, they're now back for their third or fourth years. So we've been able to retain it. They're having a good time. And as I tell them every training, there's not too many jobs you get paid to play.
Yeah.
And you're not a professional athlete yet, so this is the next best thing.
When did we start, when we will finish on this one?
So the program started on June 15th. And depending on the program, it'll either end on July 30th or August 7th. Yeah, 7th. If it's, the playgrounds go one extra week over the 2-day camps.
Good. Moving on, I see nothing under old business. Do we have anything on our new business? Do we have commissioner comments?
Carl.
No? Go on.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Third.
Commissioner North?
Yeah.
Your second?
Second. I remember.
Third. That's right.
Yeah, I was told just always let Sean make the motion.
I'll fight you for it.
I actually thought Commissioner Cross got that second.
Huh?
I thought Commissioner Cross got that second.
Well, whatever you
I don't want to fight her, so.
That's the word according to. All right. Any comments on Sean's wonderful motion?
I was,
We didn't vote yet. No, we didn't.
no, he's just gonna hold us here.
Drum roll,
Waiting
please.
for it. All right, if there's no comments or questions, we are adjourned.
You didn't vote.
All in favor?
All in favor of doing this?
Aye.
Happy? Thanks, Leanne.
You're welcome.